Our countdown to tip-off of the GAC continues, and it is a privilege, as always, to get to visit with the head coach of the men's basketball team at Ouachita, Coach Dennis Nutt. And, Coach, the league now is in its 10th season, and you are as well. So I know it's one of those things, you've been around as long as the GAC has, but this is a men's basketball league that really has improved, I believe, with every year, and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, Joy, it really has. 10 years ago, it was pretty dominant, one or two teams up the top and then the rest of us. But as the years went along, this league has really evened out. And I tell you what, there's so much parity in it, and top to bottom is such a strong league. Now there's 1 through 8, any one of those teams could possibly win it all. So a lot of good coaches in this league, a lot of good players, and obviously they all do a good job with their teams, and it makes it a competitive league.
How are things in Arkadelphia right now? Of course, the Tigers coming off another trip to the postseason, part of the GAC tournament. You made it in as the number 8 seed last season, and again have to face Southern Nazarene. You've done that for 4 or 5 years in a row. Could we just pencil that in as your 21st game of the season this year, that you're going to see Southern Nazarene in the postseason?
Well, hopefully we can get out of that 8th spot. That was the thing. We barely got in there, but Southern Naz has been really good over the last couple of years, and hey, it's difficult to make this tournament. I tell you what, it's way different than it used to be, and it's you have to put a good resume together just to get there. So it's exciting to get there, but hopefully we can get out of that 8th spot.
Well, how do you get there now? How are things going in Arkadelphia for you all? What's the team look like?
Well, obviously it's been such a crazy year, and started last spring, of course. And, a lot of guys that we recruited virtually and get them on campus. So it's good to kind of get to know them face to face finally. The guys are working hard. It's, normally we're 4 or 5 games in already this time of year. So it's just been a little different, just trying to prepare for January. It's still a long way away, but I know it's getting closer. So we're trying to, go through all the mandates and they have in front of us, and quarantines here and there. So it's been different, but I tell you what, I give our guys credit. They worked through a lot of it and trying hard to get through.
I know you're always going to have a hardworking team, Coach, and I know that that's from the top-down coaching staff as well, that you all do a great job there. We're speaking now with Dennis Nutt, who's the head men's basketball coach for the Ouachita Tigers. And, Coach, no more Allie Freeman. I think that he's finally used up, the two-sport star has finally used up all of his eligibility. But you do bring back some big names in your seniors, that 3 of them put on some good numbers for you last season alone. Kendarius Smith, second in scoring, leading the rebounding. Matt Stanley led the team in rebounding. Lorenz Nero led the team in assists. So you're bringing back some players that have put up numbers for you in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we'll have to lean on these seniors with such a new roster coming in behind them. KD had a good year last year. He was kind of our best all-around player, did a lot of things for us. And he's doing well right now, and we're looking forward to his senior year. And Matt had a great season going before the ACL injury. He was averaging close to 10 points, 6 rebounds. And it really took the wind out of our sails a little bit last year when he went down. But he's slowly getting back, and he's pretty close to full speed, not quite there yet, but he's working at it. And Lorenz Nero was new to us last year, but hopefully this second year will be really good for him. And we're going to lean on those guys quite a bit. So hopefully they can lead us to a good season.
Well, those are names that we're familiar with, but you were talking about, some new players coming in. And I'm sure it's always good to have seniors who are able to, be almost like secondary coaches for you, especially when it comes to practice time. And they know what's expected of you as a coach and as your staff then, but you have those new names coming in. Tell us about some of those.
I'll tell you, we got a whole host of guys coming in behind them. And let's start with the guys that were here last year. You may not have heard of Xavier Hall. Is a 6'4", 6'5" kid from Dermot, Arkansas. That's very, very athletic, does some good things for us, and he's looked good in some scrimmages that we've had. Excuse me. Leon Kalinick is a big kid inside that really came on after Matt Stanley went down. Really good, skilled guy inside that does some good things for us. Also, Jacob Street played quite a bit for us last year. And those guys that are kind of off the, you don't hear them much, on game times, but I tell you what, they do a lot for our team. And I think this year could be a new ball game for them, and we're going to need them to step up. Host of guys that are coming in. DJ Kane is a shooter we got from Texas. I think has a chance to be really good for us. But Darius Hobson is another junior college transfer that he kind of fills up the stat sheet. And those guys can play a lot of different positions. And, it's going to be interesting how it plays out. There's so many guys that are that's going to have to play a role for us. So it'll be interesting how it plays out.
And, Coach, I appreciate that you mentioned that, even role players, because you do have a number of them. And sometimes, you get like a Milan Martin or an Allie Freeman or someone like that really just names of recent years that come to the fore so much. Some of those role players, they just have to bide their time and wait their turn, and they get that for you. Well, Coach, the team pick 5th according to the GAC coaches in the Eastern Division. And as you mentioned, it's anybody's guess once you get there. You just have to make the postseason, and you've taken the Tigers twice to the championship in the tournament. So just getting there once again, trying to get to January 7th, right?
We are. We can't wait. We know that date is coming now. I'm sure all the guidelines will be different time we get there with the COVID stuff, but we're going to keep plugging along and just take one day at a time and just keep working. And hopefully by the time March rolls around, we'll have a good team out there.
Well, I expect to see you in the postseason once again. You've made it just a perennial thing, and we'll see. What no matter what the seeds are, we are almost expecting a Southern Nazarene matchup. But I know you want to get out of that 8th seed spot, so we'll see what happens. Coach Dennis Nutt for the Ouachita Tigers, thank you, sir, for being with us as we count down the tip-off in the GAC.
Okay, Joey, thank you.